JLL believes you should expect more from your office space. So ask yourself, is your office space working as hard as you are? Does it foster collaboration, fuel productivity, and help build culture? Is it designed with intent? Is it a place you want to be? Your office can be a powerful asset, so put your office to work with JLL and see a brighter way. Learn more at jll.com/Spotify.
At FedEx Office, we know running a business is a marathon, but sometimes every task feels like a sprint. Design the product catalog, pick up the new boxes, print the business cards, notarize the lease, put out 20 more yard signs. It's a lot. Luckily for you, FedEx Office is here to help turn your ideas into reality, so you can stop running yourself in circles and start concentrating on the important things, like deciding what's for lunch. Visit your nearest location or office.fedex.com to get started. FedEx Office.
This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2816, on Great Teachers and the Remarkable Life, a Deliberate Practice Case Study, Part 1, by Cal Newport of calnewport.com. I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you blogs every single day of the year. Now, today's article is a little longer than normal, so I'll read the first half today and then finish up the rest tomorrow. So with that, let's get right to Part 1 as we optimize your life. On Great Teachers and the Remarkable Life, a Deliberate Practice Case Study, Part 1, by Cal Newport of calnewport.com. Predicting Greatness. The impact of teachers is profound. If you rank the world's countries by their students' academic performance, the U.S. is somewhere in the middle. In a 2009 New Yorker article, Malcolm Gladwell notes that replacing the bottom 6% to 10% of public school teachers with teachers of average quality could be enough to close the gap between our current position and the top-ranked countries. Quote, your child is actually better off in a bad school with an excellent teacher than in an excellent school with a bad teacher, Gladwell concludes. But there's a problem, quote, no one knows what a person with the potential to be a great teacher looks like, end quote, or at least according to Gladwell. Teaching for America, a nonprofit that recruits outstanding college graduates to teach in low-income school districts, disagrees. This organization is fanatical about data. For the past 20 years, they've gathered massive amounts of statistics on their teachers in an attempt to figure out why some succeed in the classroom and some fail. They then work backwards from these results to identify what traits best predict a potential recruit's success. As Amanda Ripley reports in a comprehensive look inside the Teach for America process published in the Atlantic Monthly, the results of this outcome-based approach to hiring are humbling. I came into this with a bunch of theories, the former head of admissions at Teach for America told Ripley. Quote, I was proven wrong at least as many times as I was validated, end quote. When Teach for America first started 20 years ago, applicants were subjectively scored by interviewers on 12 general traits like communication ability. A sample interview question, what is wind? By contrast, if you're one of the 35,000 students who applied in 2009, a pool that included 11% of Ivy League seniors, 30 data points gathered from a combination of questionnaires, demonstrations, and interviews were fed into a detailed quantitative model that returned a hiring recommendation. This data-driven approach seems to work. As Ripley reports, in 2007, 24% of Teach for America teachers advanced their students at least 1.5 grade levels or more. 2 years later, as the organization's models continue to evolve, this number has almost doubled to 44%. I'm fascinated by Teach for America for a simple reason. The traits they discovered at the core of great teaching are unmistakably a variant of deliberate practice. Not the pure coach-driven practice of professional athletes and chess grandmasters, but a hardy, adaptable strain that's applicable to almost any field. Put another way, these outstanding teachers may have unwittingly cracked the code for generating a remarkable life. Inside the classroom of an outstanding teacher. In her Atlantic piece, Ripley recounts an afternoon spent in the math classroom of William Taylor, a teacher in Southeast Washington, D.C., who ranks in the top 5% of all math teachers in the district. When Taylor enters the classroom, his students fall into a strictly choreographed interaction. Good morning, he calls. Good morning, the students answer. The period begins with mental math. Taylor calls out problems which the students answer in their heads. They then write their solutions on orange index cards, which they all hold up at the same time. If some kids get it wrong, they have not embarrassed themselves, Ripley notes. But Taylor now knows who needs more attention. After mental math, Taylor teaches the class a new method for long division. The students try the strategy in groups of 4, each led by a team leader that rotates on a regular basis. Taylor found that students were more receptive to help from their fellow students. After having the students try the method on their own, Taylor begins calling them up to the board, selecting names at random to ensure no one is overlooked. I try, but I can't find a child who isn't talking about math, Ripley recalls about her afternoon in the classroom. The class continues with a spirited game of multiplication bingo. Before the students leave, they have to answer a final problem on a slip of paper that they hand to Taylor at the door, another method for him to assess who is still struggling with the day's material. What makes great teachers great? Hear that in tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, On Great Teachers and the Remarkable Life, a Deliberate Practice Case Study by Cal Newport of calnewport.com.
JLL believes you should expect more from your office space. So ask yourself, is your office space working as hard as you are? Does it foster collaboration, fuel productivity, and help build culture? Is it designed with intent? Is it a place you want to be? Your office can be a powerful asset, so put your office to work with JLL and see a brighter way. Learn more at jll.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Vonage. Is your business ready to integrate live video chats into your app? The Vonage Video API makes it simple for developers to build custom solutions that make sense for your business. From providing faster tech support and better customer service to hosting more productive meetings and classes, live video enhances every conversation. Go live on your terms with Vonage. Learn more at Vonage.com.
Thank you to Cal. I don't know about you, but that math class sounds a lot more interesting, dare I say fun, than some classes I took. But in any case, I completely agree that the teacher is so important for the student. I went to a decent college. It's not a major university by any means. Well, I actually started in the UC system, but I didn't like how most of the classes were massive. Or if they were small, it was a teacher's assistant teaching instead of the actual professor. It just wasn't for me personally. So I ended up transferring to a smaller private college. And that's where this idea really started hitting me and affected my life. I could have a class in a topic that I was really interested in and absolutely dislike the class and the topics, everything about it. And then yet I could have a class on a topic like, anthropology that I have virtually no interest in and find it incredibly enlightening and something I'll never forget, all because of the teacher. It's amazing to me how much they shape our lives. It's so important. So if you're doing that work as a teacher, that's appreciated. Hopefully this article brings up some things to consider. And if you're not in this field or a teacher like me, it's still worth thinking about since teachers play such a large role in our lives. And we're all kind of doing some kind of teaching somehow, even if not formally. But that's just the first half of this post, so stay tuned for tomorrow where we'll finish this up and where your optimal life awaits.